Shalom, brothers and sisters. Grace be unto you and peace from Yahuwah the Father and Yahusha the Messiah, his Son. This is Brother David coming to you again to bring you another word. And the word for today is test. Everything that you are going through today is a test, brothers and sisters. You're being tested. You're being tried. You're being proven to see if you will keep his commandments or no. We have all failed the test, but this is the last days, brothers and sisters. The Father is raising up a people who will study. You see what the people here are doing? They're studying so that they can pass the test. This is what we do in the secular realm. Why is it that we think that we can go into the kingdom without testing? Everything in this life, if you want to be a doctor, you have to be tested, tried, and proven. They're not going to let you go in there and be a heart surgeon unless you have all of the credentials. You have to be validated, brothers and sisters. Do you think that you can just make it into the kingdom of heaven by just calling on Jesus? That is not going to happen. Let's begin. KJV Dictionary Definition, trial. 1. Examination by a test. You see the word trial and test? Experiment, as in chemistry or metallurgy. 2. Experiment, act of examining by experience. In gardening and agriculture, we learn by trial what land will produce, and often repeated trials are necessary. 3. Experience, suffering that puts strength, patience, or faith to the test. Afflictions or temptations that exercise and prove the graces or virtues of men. So you see this word trial is interchangeable. Trial can mean test. It can also mean prove. And it comes from the afflictions or temptations. Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 2. And thou shalt remember all the way which Yahuwah, thy mighty one, led thee these 40 years in the wilderness, to humble thee and prove thee, to know what was in thine heart, whether thou wouldst keep his commandments or no. So when the children of Israel were wandering in this wilderness, brothers and sisters, it was hot. We're talking 120 degrees Fahrenheit. They were being tested. They were being tried. They were being proven. Are you in your wilderness today? If you are in your wilderness today and you want to come out of that wilderness, you have to start keeping his commandments, because this is what the test is about. In order to get out of this desert, you have to be tested. You have to be tried. You have to be proven. Psalms 11, verse 5. Yahuwah trieth the righteous, but the wicked and him that loveth violence, his soul hateth. So the mighty one testeth, tries, and proves those who are the righteous. Who are the ones who are the righteous? Those that keep his commandments. So if you're keeping the commandments and you're going through all kinds of controversy and tribulation, brothers and sisters, it's because the Father is testing you. He's trying you. He's proving you to see whether you will keep his commandments or not. Now he says that Yahuwah trieth the righteous. Well, the Bible tells you whom he loveth, he chastises, but the wicked and those that love violence, he says, my soul hates. Exodus chapter 20, verse 20. And all the people saw the thunderings and the lightnings and the noise of the trumpet and the mountain smoking. And when the people saw it, they moved back and stood far off. Verse 19. And they said unto Moses, speak thou with us, and we will hear. But let not the mighty ones speak with us, lest we die. And Moses said unto the people, fear not, for the mighty one is come to prove you. He's come to test you, to try you, to prove you, and that his fear may be before your faces, that ye sin not. And the word sin means transgress the law. So all the time when they were standing there before the mountain, the Father, guess what he was doing, brothers and sisters? He was testing them. He was trying them. He was proving them to see if they would keep his commandments or not. But you know, as usual, the Israelites dropped the ball. They failed the test, and thousands of them died that day. James chapter 1, verse 12. Blessed is the man that endureth temptation, for when he is tried, tested, and proven, he shall receive the crown of life, which Yahuwah hath promised to them that love him. In order for you to receive that degree, that PhD, your doctorates, your masters, you have to first be tested. You have to be tried. You have to be proven. So don't think it's a stretch that the Father himself uses the same method before he will give you a crown of life. You have to endure temptation. And if you don't endure temptation, brothers and sisters, you will never receive this crown. You have to endure till the end. And look at what we're facing. This is the worst and the hardest test for men. Do you see this beautiful creature? And that's exactly what she is. She's a creature. This is a demon. This is a devil. Did you expect that the demons and devils were going to look like the orcs or those monsters that you see on TV? The Bible tells you that the devil comes as an angel of light. Here's your angel of light skin. This is forbidden. In the commandments, you are not to go after strange flesh, nor are you to mix with these strange women. 1 Peter chapter 1, verse 5 to 7. Who are kept by the power of the mighty one through faith unto salvation, ready to be revealed in the last time. And brothers and sisters, these are the last times. Verse 6. Wherein ye greatly rejoice, though now for a season, if need be, ye are in heaviness through manifold temptations. Verse 7. That the trial of your faith, being much more precious than that of gold that perisheth, though it be tried with fire, might be found unto praise and honor and glory at the appearing of Yahusha the Messiah. So, brothers and sisters, even though you're heavy in your hearts, because the temptations of this life, especially in America, are so great, brothers and sisters, that your heart should be heavy. But you have to be tested. You have to be tried. Yes. You have to be proven. He wants to see if you can exercise that faith. You have to build it up, brothers and sisters. That when that Messiah comes, you might be found unto praise and honor and glory at the appearing of Yahushua the Messiah. Brothers and sisters, it is too late once he gets here. The testing, the trying, and the proving of your faith comes before he appears, not after. You have to be ready. Lobster. Now, I put this in here because I'm looking at myself. Back in the days, this was my thing. Man, some lobster with some butter sauce and sprinkle some lemon. Good. Now, this is a mighty test. The first test is women. That's the hardest for us men. But then the next one is that stomach. That stomach craves these roaches, these sea roaches, brothers and sisters. The Father told us not to eat these things. Well, what about this? That ham, spam, bam, you're dead. Your arteries are clogged. The Father told you not to eat these things because it's a known fact that these things clogs your arteries. Next thing, heart disease. Romans chapter 2, verse 12 to 13. For as many as have sinned without the law shall also perish without the law. So if you've been eating the ham, the spam, the shellfish, and all of these things, you've sinned. You have denied the law. So if you have sinned and you don't have the law in your life, you're going to perish. You're not going to live. You're going to perish without the law, brothers and sisters. Look at what he says next. And as many as have sinned in the law shall be judged by the law. So the ones who are in the law, they're not going to perish. They're going to be judged by the law for the things where they failed. Verse 13, for not the hearers of the law are justified before the mighty one. So if you're just here listening and think that's a justification, no, it's not. But listen what he says next. But the doers of the law shall be justified. And this is in your New Testament. It tells you right there, you have to keep the law, brothers and sisters. The hearers are not going to be justified. It's the ones who do it. And the ones who do it are the ones who are tested, tried, and proven to see if they will keep his commandments or no. And these are his commandments. These are just the 10. Our people cannot even keep these. Look, it says, thou shalt not kill. We have more abortions amongst us than anything else. Our brothers are murdering each other out there on the streets. Have we failed this one? Yes, we have. All of those people who are killing and doing abortions are in the church. Thou shalt not commit adultery. You're married. You're going around sleeping with all the people in the church. Thou shalt not steal. If the pastor is taking your tithe and your offering in the church, he is stealing, because no one can collect a tithe but the Levites. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. Listen, the church is the biggest gossip column that you can possibly find. That's all it's all about, brothers and sisters. Everyone, the story changes from one mouth, from one lips to the next. Thou shalt not cover thy neighbor's stuff. Forget about it. When you've been tested and you've been tried and you've been proven, you're going to find that you will fail these because you've never studied them to see exactly what the Father wants you to do. You have to study first to pass the test, right? So if you don't know every aspect of his commandments, how are you going to go to be tested, tried, and proven and receive a good grade? You are not cramming. You're just listening to lectures and watching people on television. That is not going to work for the kingdom. James chapter 1, verse 2 to 4. My brethren, count it all joy when ye fall into divers temptation. That word divers means to diverse, different types of temptations. Verse 3, knowing this, that the trying, testing, proving of your faith worketh patience. You see, this is what the test does. It works patience in you. Verse 4, but let the patience have her perfect work, that ye may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing. Do you know that this is what our people's problem is? We want, not need. We just want everything we see, brothers and sisters. We want. This is why we go through different types of temptations. He's trying to make us patient so that it'll have its perfect work in us. He wants us to be complete, brothers and sisters, not lacking anything. But brothers and sisters, when you are here in this world, this is what you're looking for. You see, our brothers are gravitating towards the bling and the stuff, the nice cars, the jewelry, the fame and the fortune. And the fame and the fortune brings us here, where you have the cars and the homes and the land and the property. And when you have these things, you think you arrive, but you're still wanting. And when you get all of these things, then you want this. Have you noticed that our brothers, as soon as they've arrived at the pinnacle of what they call fame and fortune, what do they go after? They go after this demon here. This devil. Look at what it says in Jude chapter 1, verse 7. Even as Sodom and Gomorrah and the cities about them in like manner, giving themselves over to fornication. That's all you have here in America. You might as well say this is your modern Sodom and Gomorrah. And going after strange flesh. What is strange flesh? This white flesh, brothers and sisters. This is what he's talking about. These demons and these devils that are walking around the earth in bodies are set forth for an example, suffering the vengeance of eternal fire. Sodom and Gomorrah was an example of what we were not supposed to do. But we are living here in the modern Sodom and Gomorrah. And here in America, we are being tested, tried, and proven. Everything that you see on your television. This is why it's not good for you to let your children watch television. It's all about sex and violence, homosexuality, fornication, adultery. These things are grade A here in America. These are the things you're supposed to do. This is the way that they portray them. In all of your movies and all of your shows on TV, that's all you see. Fornication, adultery, and they have these black men going after the strange flesh, and they're validating this on television. The Father said for you not to do it. You are being tested, tried, and proven to see whether you will keep his commandments or not. And brothers, we have failed. Once you have taken this wicked woman in your bed, you have violated his commandments. You failed the test. Come out from amongst them and be ye separate, because this is wickedness. Now, sisters, you need to step up your game. These women will do anything for the black man. Listen to me carefully. They will do anything for the black man. He will be lacking or wanting nothing when he has one of these demons in his house. They go to the extreme to please their men. This is why our brothers are running into their arms. They don't talk like the black woman talks down to the black man. They big him up. They lift him up. They tell him how powerful and lovely and perfect he is, when the black woman tells him that he's no real man. Step up your game, sisters. Stop destroying the ego of your husbands and your men. Be better than these women. Do all for your man. Do things that she can't even do. Shalom.